Okay, so I did this particular video, right? This video a couple lives ago, right? Maybe 5, whatever, couple 6, whatever lives ago. All right? So we will watch this a little bit, and then the second video is what I really want to talk about. So let's watch it a little bit.
Someone asked me recently what my thoughts were on dating outside of my social class, and I answered that I would quite literally never do that, and here's why. For the purpose of this question, I took social class to sort of mean like socioeconomic class, so my economic status, maybe around how much money I make, the social status, like perhaps the caliber of school that I went to and the spaces that I found myself in as a result, and the people I found myself surrounded by. And then also like the lifestyle I've created for myself that's a combination of like the economic status and the school and the spaces and all of that. I think you guys get how that fits together. It's important to note that I did not grow up with a lot of money. My father went to prison when I was 4 years old. During that time and all the time after, like my mom has been a public school teacher, so they don't make a lot of money. When we first moved to Atlanta, we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 7 people sharing 1 bathroom. Like I literally shared the bottom bunk of a bunk bed with my second oldest brother, and then my oldest brother and my sister-in-law were on the top bunk of that bed. Okay, we were not a Jack and Jill family, okay? Money was not, we didn't have a lot of it. So knowing my circumstances, when I was like 12 years old, I made this vision board for myself. My mom actually found recently in her storage unit. I had basically carved out my entire life, like what I was gonna do in high school to make sure I could get into an Ivy League college, and what I was gonna do at that college to make sure I could get into a certain law school or buy a certain car and have a certain apartment or home. Like all of these things I had planned out, and I knew that because my family didn't have the same financial resources someone else's did or access to certain people to get me into doors, I had to open them myself. So that's what I did. I created an insane amount of opportunities for myself by literally putting my blood, sweat, and tears into everything I did. From the time that I was 12 years old until now, like 23, I was so intentional about every decision I made, whether it was not dating in high school or not drinking or prioritizing school.
So, I mean, this is a 4-minute video. I'm not trying to make it crazy long, but again, she's just reiterating that she's only dating men in her tax bracket, right? At a certain tax bracket. Fine. I said this a while ago, right? I don't despise women. I despise women's thinking, right? How they think, the way of thinking, okay? Their ideology, how their viewpoints, their opinions. That's what I despise. Women, I don't, right? It could be, her face could be like a man's face. It don't matter. It's how women think, right? It's their viewpoints that are shitty. Because here's the thing. Great. You want a man that makes a certain amount of money, which a lot of women do, right? A lot of women want a man at a certain tax bracket. Fine. Cool. Right? But here's the thing. Women have to understand that nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. You can the odds of a woman finding a man that has every single standard or quality that women ask for is almost 0%. Most likely 0. Right? Having a man that's the money that the women want, the height that women want, the looks that women want, the personality that women want, the situation that you can name it. That's the thing where women falter at. You want all of this, and then right at the bottom of all those wants, she wants his the morality, right? Him being monogamous to her, right? Wanting to marry her, wanting to be a good father to her children. At the bottom, right? All that morality, the principle, all that at the bottom. When you build a man, right? His morality, his character, his personality is all at the bottom. You wonder why that man will be shitty to you. Because all you really care about is that money, is that look, is that height. It's all these superficial shit. And then, right? And then after this man has all that, you hope he also has the morality. He also has the principles. He also has the character to be a good guy. You hope. And this is the thing where women can understand. You can't have it all. You cannot have it all. You cannot have the player, the bad boys, the Tyrones, right? The high value men, the rich ass men, the 1% men, you know, the men that has great hair, great height, great looks, to be fucking faithful to you as well. You can't, it's like, this is insanity. Is it possible? Maybe. But it's more improbable, right? So it is fine that you want a man that has a certain level of status, looks, whatever. But this is the thing where I said I despise women's ideology. When you want that type of man, please don't complain about how he treats you. Please don't complain about how he doesn't want to marry you or how he cheats on you. Don't complain how he's a shitty dad. Please don't. Because here's the thing. Nobody's perfect. When you want certain attributes, you are going to sacrifice certain others. So why do I say that? Why do I say that, right?
Okay, so like 3 months
This is why I say that. Okay, so let's watch this clip.
ago, I found out that my boyfriend was cheating on me, and the way I found out was the girl he was cheating on, one of the girls, I don't fucking know, actually reached out to me, and when I found...
She's talking about the boyfriend she had that cheated on her with many women.
This out, I was going on a work trip to the south of France for like a week, and then I had trips back to back, and I wasn't gonna be back home for 6 weeks. So for a couple of days we were just like messaging back and forth and finding out all these details. Like, we would be with him in the same days. Like, he was a fucking dirty dog. I'm telling y'all, this man was a goddamn mutt. And obviously this is like jarring to find out, and to actually be speaking to this person, like, it was just really...
Man's a goddamn mutt. Yeah, you had sex with that mutt. Plenty of other women had sex with this mutt. It's funny to me, right? It's funny to me that women will say a lot of shitty things about the men that they will give their bodies to. It's funny to me. It really, I can never fathom it, right? I find it so fascinating that women will literally either give children or both they will give their bodies or even children to these men that they insult. But it's funny because you gave your body to this man. Yeah, he's a mutt. So you gave your body to a mutt. Does that really look great on you?
Crazy. Of course, on my mind is like, how am I gonna confront this man? Knowing I was not gonna be back home for like 6 weeks, I knew I was not gonna wait that long and be able to just like play it off like nothing happened and just be talking to him normally until I could see him in person. So one day that I'm there, me and him get on the phone and we're just like chatting. I think it's 6 a.m. his time. It would have been like noon for me. We were on our way to the beach or something, like to lunch. We start talking and, you know, just, yeah, what's up, whatever. We had like a trip that we were going on in a couple weeks. We like sort of talked about that a little bit and whatever. How are you? What are you doing? Oh, send me pictures, all that bullshit. Then I end up saying like, yeah, well, I just have to ask you something. Do you know a woman named Mackenzie? He's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, do you know a girl named Mackenzie? Like, what? He goes, Clark, what are you, like, no, I don't know anyone named, like, what are you talking about? I said, so you're not dating someone named Mackenzie? And so now he's like, dating someone named Mackenzie? He's like, no, like, I'm dating you, like, what are you talking about? No, I don't know anyone named Mackenzie. Like, Clark, what is this about? So I said to him, because there was a week, it wasn't a whole week, it was a weekend, that he went on a trip. He was like with his family. He was actually with this girl. She tells me about this trip. And when I bring it up to him, I'm like, so you weren't at the beach with Mackenzie April 2nd through the 4th? This man, this is literally how the conversation goes. So you weren't at the beach with a girl named Mackenzie April 2nd through the 4th? Him. Clark? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Clark? I can't. Hello? Hangs the phone up. This motherfucker, babe.
This is funny to me, right? It's funny to me. Now, would I say that there are rich men that are monogamous, more like morally sound? Yes, there are. But again, that's rare, right? Rich men are already rare. Rich men, right? Men of a certain tax bracket, men of a certain social economic level, they are rare. And now you add another rare quality on top of this man, right? Let alone probably good looking, probably taught more rare qualities. This is the thing what women understand. The more rare you want this man to be, the more highly desirable this man is. Because here's the thing. She's not the only one that he's dealing with. The woman that she's complaining about, right, isn't the only one as well. 2 women, he's probably dealing with multiple, a plethora of other women. So really, this is the thing. Women need to actually, women of this desire, right, that want rare men, they need to learn to share. Women like this, they need to learn to share. When you want rare men, you are not the only woman that want a rare man. This is the thing, right? And in my personal opinion, that's one of the difference of men and women. Men aren't asking for rare women because honestly, men aren't that stupid. Men aren't that stupid. Men know the rarer a woman is, the more idiotic it is for me as a man to want to be with this woman long term. How many, I've seen it so many times, right? Where men realize this woman is out of my league. I'm not going to be with her, right? Because here's the thing, the insanity that, you know what? This woman, right, is going to be completely faithful to me for the rest of my life is absolutely idiotic, right? Absolutely delusional on my part as a man. So really, most men, they're more grounded than women. Most men, in my opinion, aren't as delusional as women. Because, like, again, this is the thing. That's why I showed you the preference of the first video, right? Where she's saying, I want a man that's a certain socioeconomic, level. Cool. No hate towards that. You are perfectly fine for wanting what you want. But again, no man is perfect. You want a man at a certain socioeconomic level, please don't add on more standards. Because again, you are finding a man going to be impossible to meet. So, the man that she's dating, right, her boyfriend, he most likely meets that socioeconomic level. But don't be surprised that now you have to share him or he cheats on you. Don't.
Basically goes, I can't hear what you're saying anymore. Gotta go. Are you serious? When I tell you this is so genius for a number of reasons. First of all, obviously needed to buy himself some time. Boom, there's your time. Second of all, I'm in the south of France. I'm literally in a goddamn moke right now, driving through a fucking beach. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm like, damn, maybe my service actually went out. Then when I look at my phone and I see I have 4 goddamn bars, I said, oh no, this motherfucker is playing. You're at your apartment in the West Village, okay? I've got 4 bars. Stop playing with me. Do you know what I mean? Like, what in the actual fuck? So then I call him back like 6 times and like, motherfucker, you better answer this goddamn phone right now. Like, I know you're playing with me. He does.
Yeah. No, Monger, I do kind of believe that, right? When like Scammonger said, no woman is out of your league. It's just that women, just like men, are only as faithful as their options. And men know this. Yes, true. That's true, right? I do mean that out of your league is essentially how much options you know this woman has, right? The level, the amount of options you know this woman has. So, yes, I agree.
Then there's the phone, he texts me and he goes, yeah, hey, Clark, I don't know what happened to the call. He goes, I don't know what happened to the call. And, like, can you text me what you were saying? I didn't understand what you were talking about. Like, can you just text me what you were trying to say? Y'all. The rest of the story is even crazier, but I ended up sending him a picture of her photo dump from Instagram where she had like his arm in it and sends it to him. And this motherfucker goes on to, he waits 6 hours before he responds. First of all, he reads it, 6 hour response, 6 hours fucking later. The best this man could come up with after hanging up the phone, acting like the goddamn call dropped, acting like he was in Baghdad when he was in fucking West Village, hangs up the phone, waits 6 hours to respond to my text message of this fucking photo dump picture, and then says to me, so now you're stalking my Instagram? If you must know, my boys dropped out of the trip that, mind you, was a family trip, and he was literally texting me pictures of him with his family, like his siblings and his fucking parents on the goddamn trip while it was happening, while he was really with this bitch. If you must know, if my prying fucking nosy ass must fucking know, bitch. He said, my boys dropped out of the trip and she stepped up to go. She stepped up to go on the fucking romantic beach getaway that he was going on with his boys. Y'all. She's not a fucking stepfather. She did not step up to the plate to take care of somebody's goddamn abandoned child, okay? You're talking about getting her back blown out on a fucking White Sands beach! But then I'm stalking your Instagram. Okay, fucking Milli Vanilli, blame it on the goddamn rain. This man blamed this.
This is why, right? I don't say I despise women. I don't. I've said it time and time again. I'm not going about it where I'm hating on women or I despise women. No. I'm going about it, but I hate their lack of accountability. I hate their ideology. I hate their viewpoints. Why? Why do I hate it? Because this is what it shows. Like I said, I show you the first video to show you I want her, what she's basically saying. I go for a man that is my same socioeconomic level. Great. Great. Here's the product. Here's the thing you got. And women will say, oh, even a poor man will cheat. Yes. I'm not talking about rich or poor. I'm talking about what you value is the problem, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, oh, you value a rich man? Yes, a rich man will cheat. Or you value a poor man? Yes, a poor man could cheat as well. That's not the fucking shit I'm talking about. I'm talking about when your value, right, is that, oh, I want a man at a socioeconomic level, right? That's the first fucking thing you say. Instead of, you know what? I want a man that's morally sound. Period, right? That's the first shit you say. Women never. I have yet to see a video, right, or whatever, of women saying, I want a morally sound man. The first thing out of their goddamn mouth. Never have I heard that. Just me, period, right? I have never heard that. I've never heard of women say, I want a morally sound man that has character, great personality, that is monogamous, faithful, period. The first thing, right? That's usually like at the bottom of that fucking list that all women have. He needs to be rich. He needs to be charming. He needs to be ambitious. He needs to be da-da-da-da-da. And then, oh, I want him a nice guy. No duh, then, like, if it's last on your list, most likely it's not that important. That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about, it's great that she has whatever fucking standard she has, but how she thinks, right? Her level of priority, her importance. Well, this is why I wanted to point it out. This is what you'll get, right? Men of your same socioeconomic level, yeah, this is the life you'll get.
Shit on me. The thing that makes this the absolute fucking worst is not that he proceeds to threaten me after that. Threaten me, y'all. Threaten me. What makes it worse is that you acted like the fucking call dropped and took 6 hours and came up with that whack ass fucking excuse. Disgraceful. I can't. Okay, so like 3 months ago, I found.
But this is the thing. You can't, but you will. You will continue to date these types of men. Honestly, I never say it's impossible, right? Is it impossible for her to find a man of her same socioeconomic level, and he's faithful, loving, and all this shit? It's not impossible. It will become unlikely. It will become hard. Just my opinion. So, what do you guys think?